Ever wondered what the purpose of our existence is? What lies beyond the physical realm? These are the questions that have been at the heart of human existence, the enigma that has boggled the minds of the greatest thinkers throughout the ages. From philosophers to scientists, poets to priests, everyone has sought to unravel this mystery. Everyone has yearned to understand the essence of life, the purpose of our existence, the meaning behind the universe, and our role within it. This quest for understanding, this thirst for knowledge, it's what makes us uniquely human. It's what propels us forward, pushing us to explore, to investigate, and to seek answers. And as we journey through life, we often find ourselves drawn towards spirituality, looking beyond the physical, the tangible, the seen and the known. Spirituality in its essence is a journey inward, a journey towards understanding our true selves, our place in the universe, and the interconnectedness of all things. It's about looking beyond the surface, beyond the material, and delving into the depth of existence. It's about seeking the unseen, the unknown, the unfathomable, and finding peace, purpose, and meaning therein. And in this vast realm of spirituality, there are many paths to explore, many ways to seek and understand. One such path that has guided millions of seekers throughout centuries is Buddhism. This ancient philosophy, this profound way of life, offers a unique perspective on life and existence. It provides a framework to understand the world, our place in it, and our relationship with everything around us. It's a path that encourages self-discovery, self-awareness, and mindfulness. It's a philosophy that promotes compassion, kindness, and inner peace. It's a journey that leads to enlightenment, to awakening, to liberation. So are you ready to embark on this journey? Are you ready to delve into the fascinating world of Buddhism, to unravel its wisdom, to explore its teachings, and to understand its philosophy? Are you ready to discover the path that could lead you to the answers you've been seeking, to the understanding you've been yearning for, to the peace you've been longing for? Today, we delve into one such spiritual journey, the path of Buddhism. Our story begins in the 6th century BCE in ancient India with a prince named Siddhartha Gautama. Born into the royal Shakya clan, Siddhartha's life was one of luxury and privilege. He was sheltered within the palace walls, oblivious to the suffering and hardships of the world outside. His father, the king, wishing to protect his son from life's harsh realities, ensured Siddhartha was surrounded by youth, beauty, and pleasure. However, Siddhartha's world was turned upside down when he ventured beyond the palace walls and encountered the four sights: an old man, a sick man, a dead man, and a monk. It was then that he realized the inescapable realities of life: old age, sickness, death, and the pursuit of truth. This realization shook him to his core. The world outside the palace walls was vastly different from the one he knew. It was a world filled with suffering, a concept he was entirely unfamiliar with. Yet it was a world he felt compelled to understand and alleviate. He was particularly intrigued by the serene monk who seemed unperturbed by the suffering around him. He wondered, how could one find peace amid such suffering? This led Siddhartha to make a monumental decision. He chose to abandon his royal life, his wife, and his newborn son to seek the truth. He was determined to comprehend the nature of suffering and find a way to end it. He became a wandering ascetic, living a life of self-denial and rigorous spiritual practices. His journey was not easy. He encountered various spiritual teachers, each with their own philosophies and practices. Yet, none of them provided him with the answers he sought. His quest was relentless, and his determination unwavering. He sought a middle path, a way of life that was neither indulgent nor ascetic. This began Siddhartha's journey towards enlightenment, and thus, the birth of Buddhism. Siddhartha's pursuit of truth took him through years of rigorous ascetic practices. This young prince, disillusioned by the inescapable sufferings of life, left his royal comfort behind, seeking answers, seeking truth. His journey was not a walk in the park. It was a grueling endeavor that tested his resilience and willpower to the utmost. Siddhartha's search led him to the path of extreme asceticism. He joined a group of ascetics who believed that by renouncing all worldly desires and subjecting the body to intense hardships, one could attain spiritual liberation. He fasted, he meditated, he subjected himself to extreme physical hardships. He pushed his body to its limits, hoping that in its suffering his mind would find liberation. But even after years of such severe practices, the truth Siddhartha sought seemed to elude him. He was no closer to understanding the nature of suffering or discovering a way to end it. He was emaciated, weak, and on the verge of death, yet enlightenment was as far away as ever. It was then that Siddhartha had a profound realization. He understood that neither the indulgences of his royal life nor the extreme asceticism he had subjected himself to could lead him to truth. Both were extremes, and the truth lay somewhere in the middle. This realization gave birth to the concept of the middle way, a path of moderation away from the extremes of self-indulgence and self-mortification. So, Siddhartha embraced the middle way. He began to nourish his body again to regain his strength. He meditated not to punish his body but to understand his mind. His approach was not of extreme denial, but of understanding and acceptance. Finally, under the Bodhi tree, Siddhartha attained what he sought: enlightenment, becoming the Buddha. His journey was a testament to the fact that truth does not dwell in extremes but in balance, and it is this balance, the middle way, that leads to enlightenment. With enlightenment, Buddha discovered the truths of life and existence. The core teachings of Buddha are profound yet simple, designed to guide us towards a life of peace and fulfillment. At the heart of these teachings are the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truths are the foundation of Buddhism, revealing the nature and cause of human suffering and the way to end it. The first truth, dukkha, acknowledges the pervasiveness of suffering in life. From birth to death, we experience various forms of dissatisfaction, stress, and discomfort. The second truth, samudaya, identifies the root cause of this suffering as our desires, attachments, and ignorance. The third truth, nirodha, assures us that it's possible to end this suffering by extinguishing our desires and attachments. The fourth and final truth, magga, provides the solution: the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path, as outlined by Buddha, is a practical guide to ethical and mental development with the goal of freeing us from attachments and delusions. It consists of right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. By following this path, we can reach a state of perfect peace and happiness. Another important concept in Buddha's teachings is karma, the law of cause and effect. According to karma, our past actions influence our present situation, and our present actions will determine our future. Every action, whether physical, verbal, or mental, leaves an imprint on our mind that will manifest in the future. Finally, Buddha taught about nirvana, the ultimate goal of Buddhism. Nirvana is the state of liberation and peace that comes from letting go of all desires, attachments, and ignorance. It's a state beyond suffering, beyond the cycles of birth and death, a state of absolute freedom and bliss. These teachings form the backbone of Buddhism, guiding its followers on the path to enlightenment. From a single enlightened individual, Buddhism spread across continents. The story of Buddhism is one of expansion and adaptation. It began in the lush landscapes of ancient India, where a young prince named Siddhartha Gautama sought answers to life's challenging questions. His teachings, rooted in compassion and mindfulness, resonated with many, and soon, a small community of followers began to form. This was the humble beginning of a spiritual journey that would span across millennia and continents. The spread of Buddhism, from its birthplace in India to various parts of Asia, was not a simple journey. It was a complex process, influenced by a myriad of social, political, and cultural factors. Among the key figures in this journey was Emperor Ashoka, a mighty ruler whose empire stretched across the Indian subcontinent. Ashoka, initially known for his military prowess, underwent a transformative journey after witnessing the devastating consequences of war. Embracing Buddhism, he became a pivotal figure in its spread, sending missionaries far and wide beyond his empire's boundaries. His influence was so profound that many consider him as a patron saint of Buddhism. As Buddhism traveled, it adapted and evolved, leading to the division into two major branches: Theravada and Mahayana Buddhism. Theravada, often referred to as the School of the Elders, is considered by some to be the more orthodox form of Buddhism, focusing on personal enlightenment. Mahayana, on the other hand, emphasizes the ideal of the bodhisattva, an enlightened being who postpones nirvana to help others achieve enlightenment. This branching allowed Buddhism to connect with diverse cultures, each interpreting and integrating the teachings in unique ways. It found its way to the snowy peaks of Tibet, the bustling cities of China, the serene landscapes of Japan, and beyond. Buddhism, with its profound teachings, found a home in the hearts of millions across the globe. Its journey from a single enlightened individual to a global spiritual path is a testament to its enduring wisdom and universal appeal. Fast forward to the 21st century, Buddhism continues to influence millions of lives. It's not just a religion confined to the East but has permeated every corner of the globe, breathing life into a wide array of cultures and societies. Buddhism's essence has seeped into various facets of modern life, influencing not only our spiritual practices, but also our philosophical perspectives and psychological understandings. It's no longer just about temples and monasteries, it's about applying Buddhist principles to our daily lives, finding peace in the mundane, and embracing the beauty of impermanence. In the realm of philosophy, Buddhism's emphasis on interconnectedness and the nature of reality challenges our conventional wisdom. It prompts us to question our assumptions, to see the world not as a collection of separate entities, but as a web of relationships, where everything affects everything else. Psychology too has been touched by the wisdom of Buddhism. Concepts like mindfulness, once the realm of Buddhist monks, have now entered mainstream psychology. These tools help us to stay present, to understand our emotions, and to cultivate a sense of inner peace. They remind us that happiness is not something to be chased outside, but something to be discovered within. In the lifestyle sphere, Buddhist practices like meditation and mindfulness have seen a surge in popularity. From Silicon Valley tech giants to Wall Street financiers, many are turning to these practices to find balance in a world of constant change and uncertainty. The Western world in particular has shown a growing interest in Buddhism. There's a thirst for ancient wisdom that can help navigate the complexities of modern life. People are seeking ways to slow down, to disconnect from the digital and reconnect with the self. And they're finding answers in the teachings of Buddha. In a world seeking peace and harmony, Buddhism continues to offer a path. It reminds us that in the midst of life's storms, there is a calm center within each one of us. And by tapping into this center, we can live with greater ease, compassion, and wisdom. So, as we journey into the future, Buddhism's wisdom will continue to illuminate our path, guiding us towards a more mindful and connected existence. We embarked on a journey to understand the essence of Buddhism. A journey that began with an unanswered question, a prince's quest for truth, and a path that led to the birth of a philosophy that has shaped the world for over 2,000 years. We traced the footsteps of Siddhartha, a prince who renounced his royal comforts in search of answers to life's profound questions. His journey, filled with trials and tribulations, culminated in a moment of profound enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, giving birth to the Buddha, the awakened one. We delved into the core teachings of Buddhism, exploring the four noble truths that center around the reality of suffering, and the eightfold path that provides a roadmap to liberation from suffering. These teachings, encapsulated in the concept of Dharma, offer a practical guide to leading a life of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mindfulness. We witnessed the spread of Buddhism, from the royal court of King Ashoka to the far reaches of East Asia and beyond. This expansion, facilitated by the tireless efforts of monks and scholars, led to the establishment of diverse Buddhist traditions and practices that continue to thrive today. We also explored the influence of Buddhism in today's world. From its impact on mindfulness practices and mental health, to its contributions to literature, art, and social discourse, Buddhism's footprint is evident in various facets of contemporary life. In essence, Buddhism is not just a religion. It is a philosophy, a way of life that encourages us to question, to seek, and to understand the nature of our existence. It teaches us to embrace compassion, to cultivate wisdom, and to tread the path of mindfulness. As we conclude, let's remember that the essence of Buddhism lies not in blind faith but in experiential understanding. It encourages us to embark on our own journeys of self-discovery, to question, to seek, and to find our own truths. May this understanding of Buddhism bring a little more clarity to our own journeys. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.